an anime where the 10-year-old kid turns himself into a blondie with a body and two dudes kiss all within the first 5 episodes? Yeah. That popped my anime cherry when I was at the ripe old age of 7 years old. But it is with this incredibly based intro that Masashi Kishimoto tells normies to see themselves out. Because this baby isn't for them. Dare I say based. This man understood the necessity of gatekeeping long before the West. Why, I would even say it dates all the way back to 1623. The period when Japan was closed off to foreigners. I believe their slogan at the time was, and I quote the shogun,
"Normies get BTFO, LMAO."
Anime was bathed in the blood of normies, forged from the ashes of the mundane. The physics make boobs look like water. Children can unalive war criminals with a yo-yo. And there are questionably aged baddies that spark controversy on Twitter. But anime is fun precisely because it's transcended reality and achieved nirvana. Who opens an anime labeled ecchi and looks for morality within? Those shows aren't for exploring philosophy, bro. They're for exploring those melons like you're the hungry, hungry caterpillar. Kobayashi Dragon Maid is a great example of this. Just look at Iruru. There's no Christian explanation for that. And it is the very definition of haram. So who would even attempt to make this kosher? I mean, just throwing a crazy example off the top of my head. If you were a translator, you'd never try to change the series to be more politically correct, would you? Like, that'd just be a fool's effort.
What are you wearing that for?
Oh, those pesky patriarchal societal demands were getting on my nerves. So I changed clothes.
Oh. Alright, look. I'm not going to talk about the politics of this because A, I know nothing, B, my content isn't about that, and C, I don't care. But I don't think that matters because absolutely no one wants this in their anime. You could be God's strongest feminist soldier, meaning that your skin is slightly thicker than SpongeBob SquarePants. And you'd still hate hearing this. Because who wants to be preached to in the middle of their escapism fantasy content? Even if you agree, who's trying to be an activist while watching ecchi anime? It's like if every porn set started with the actor saying, "We consent fully to this union. There are no guns being pointed at us off screen. I believe in women's rights, so when I call her a dirty bag..." That is only for the bit. I will now proceed to excite the audience with my very consensual performance. I don't watch 3D hentai though, so maybe that is what's happening nowadays. Would explain why browsers went free. I'm convinced that 99% of the people who are fine with this localization are people who have never watched any anime other than Yuri on Ice. And that means that their opinion doesn't matter. But you know who does? Mine. Because after all, who doesn't value a woman's opinion, am I right? Why in the hell are you laughing? So let's talk translations, or in this case, localization. Because adapting foreign language content for English speakers isn't just about translating things one-to-one. Specifically in the case of Japanese, English is so different from it on such a fundamental level that it's impossible to make it into an exact science. Hell, any localizer worth their salt will tell you. Translations that take a few liberties are often better, so long as the general message of the original is still being conveyed. A great example of this is the notorious...
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
It's over 9,000! Just put the clip in there, PINOY. Oh my god, holy fuck.
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?
Did you know the original is actually 8,000?
It's over 8,000! 8,000?!
Yeah, your meme is a lie, but no one cares about this. Because over 9,000 is a good faith translation. It matches the lip flaps, it was voice acted with aplomb, and it conveys the original meaning. But good faith doesn't apply to this case. At all. Look, dude, I love me some dubbed anime. I even outright prefer the dub in some series. It's especially good in video games like Persona 5, where Makoto and Ann's English voices make me nuts! But how am I supposed to fight off the sub-only Andes when you do shit like this. Not only is it disrespectful to the viewers, it's disrespectful to the original creator.
I have a vagina, deal with it.
There's nothing I hate more than when a translator thinks they're funnier, smarter, or better at writing than the actual author is and proceeds to take a giant dump all over their work. Newsflash, no one cares if you think you're more talented or woke than a Japanese guy who draws his manga one-handed. Shut up and do some half-decent localizing or find a different line of work.
I am a woman. I am a funny woman. Deal with it.
And here's one thing I haven't seen a lot of people mention. Not only is it a spit in the face to the author, it's dangerous too. Because these things put the entire industry at risk. What do you think is gonna happen if Japanese creators start to think their work will be butchered and forced to spin a narrative if they ship it to the West? Do you really think they won't pull out and turn down deals? Because actual Japanese people seem to disagree. They don't like this shit. Literally no one does. It's dangerous for the welfare of other translators too. One really unfortunate thing about this is how it's led to fans trashing on localizers as a whole and saying things like, "Oh, I'm so happy AI will replace people like you soon." And that's just incredibly soulless. For every shitty translation, I'd argue there's 10 more good ones. As the kids say, I've had far more epic PogChamp experiences than Le Cringe Manga S ones. I'm sorry for saying it like that. I just want to feel young and relatable. Anyway, I don't think it's fair to call AI translations based just because one person shit the bed. Cause trust me, if AI really does replace translators, we're all gonna lose the game, like you did just now. Compared to people, machines are ass at interpreting nuance, localizing puns, or preserving meaning while matching lip flaps in an anime. So just remember that when you purposefully mistranslate a line to show what a girl boss you are, you're poisoning the well of good faith and putting actual jobs and livelihoods at risk. Now, before I go into the next part of this video, let me make a huge disclaimer. Do not send hate to anyone involved in this clusterfuck. It'll only make them feel self-righteous, and it's just not a nice thing to do. With that said, let's dig right in, because boy oh boy does this girl know how to make things worse for herself.
I'm sorry you're not getting laid. It's not about you. Move on.
Man, just look at these Twitter posts. It reminds me of when I would actually reply to hate comments on YouTube, shitting and pissing myself with tears in my eyes while typing, "Nuh-uh!" The number one rule of dealing with hate on the internet is to never give it any attention. And if I were on her management team right now, I'd be sending some immediate "holy shit, stop digging your own grave" email. Does she not have a PR team? Is no one helping this poor boomer woman learn that speech is silver, but silence is golden? And no, I'm not trying to silence a female or anything. Although duct taping and ball gagging women is indeed based, it's just that clapping back is always a bad response to internet criticism. The internet has ADHD, meaning this would already be over if she didn't insist on arguing in the comments and making TikToks for f***ing Asmongold of all people. Cause you have to admit, whether you think she's wrong or not, there's no debating that her actions are only stoking the flames. Here's the thing. Despite her way of expressing it being certified cringe, I can sort of see where she's coming from. I mean, not necessarily about the patriarchy stuff or whatever, but most anime and manga are created for a male audience, and it shows. I tend to like both shonen and shoujo content, so I'm lucky like that, but yeah, when I'm not thirsting over Makima, I'm busy being a filthy little fujo. And when I'm in the mood for something girly, like two men f***ing each other, my options are definitely limited. But here's the funny thing about that. To my fellow weeb women, do you think there should be more anime aimed towards us? More otome games, more merch, more music, more series that cater to our sensibilities? Then pour your fucking money into the industry, dumbass! Like it or not, money is the only thing that speaks louder than anything else in this world. And believe me, every time a new Ultimate game comes out, I buy it with my own money. Because I need it to fuel my femcel desires! And men, trust me, they put their money where their dick is. Female Kumas of the earth, we must rise up. We must begin simping harder for 2D men. Lest the male Kumas look down upon us as a weaker species. Let them know that we, too, can be clinically down bad! The answer to content being disproportionately made for men is not change it so it's for me instead. It's make your own shit. Got an example for ya. I am a hater of harem anime because I think the guy should simply man up and pick one woman to fill with his seed. But I sure as hell don't waltz into the Mushoku Tensei fandom and ask them to delete the harem aspect. Likewise, if some dude started complaining about my mafia gangster man who's in love with a Christian virgin girl and called it unrealistic, I'd tell him to suck my wee long and hard. And that's why gatekeeping is love. Gatekeeping is life. I really hate that this brought out the dark side in everyone. Don't cheer for AI to replace translators just because one person is being a poo-poo doo-doo head. And don't try to butcher someone's work to try and make a statement. Whenever you feel the urge to do something stupid, first take a deep breath, drink some water, and then ask yourself when the last time you jerked off was. If it's been longer than 24 hours, go fix that and you'll probably be cured of your dumbass disease. In conclusion, gatekeep anime, put your money where your tweets are, and remember, misogyny is based. Wait, what? A big thanks to all my patrons for making this content possible, with a special shout out to Schemer's Remnant, Seri Kaya, Hibiki Tsukikage, Barnaby, Robert Shaver, Swordman DS, Hobosaki, Joe Ojeda, JCD, Cinephore, Lamelda, County, Zarsop, Ghost JB, Pat Kill, Talburn, Flying Ogre, Guy with No Coochie, Linguinios, Chris, and Shoehorn Aplenty for their insane support. See you next time, fellow degens.
If I'm making misogynists and Nazis angry, then I'm doing all right.
Here goes, say no.